Okay guys, it's Thursday night. It is cold as all get out in here. It's about 11 degrees outside and ain't much warmer than that in here. It is currently low. But we've got a little bit of progress today. The vent stacks are almost run. Ran out of pipe for the intake. They'll be here in the morning to help me turn this on and get it all going, because I just filled it. Got the system pressurized at 20 psi, and I mixed Cryotech 100 1-to-1 with distilled water. I think it's Cryotech. Yeah, Cryotech 100 1-to-1 with water, as the HydroSmart guy told me to. Said that was correct for this boiler. If it gets too thick, that boiler isn't going to be happy. The gas and heating guy helped me out here. Did a great job getting these plumbed over. And you can see we're starting to kind of frame this in now. Starting to see how it's going to go. Bleeding this and filling it, knowing it hasn't been run yet. So, take it for what it's worth. But so far, it really wasn't that hard. You just got to open the pressure relief. We'll know a lot tomorrow. Tomorrow he's going to come, finish that up, finish the seal around both sides on the inside and the outside. We're going to get the manometer on, make sure the gas is good. And if the gas is good, we're going to fire this up and start warming this floor. Considering it's, probably 20 degrees in here, maybe 18. It's going to take a few days to heat this slab. But, hey, it was always going to take some time. Doesn't matter. Do it now, do it later. The sooner we can do it, the better. It's bloody winter already. And my little fish house heater just isn't doing it in here. But at least you can reach over and toast your hands up once in a while. But yeah, I got those bled. And from my 20 gallons of mix, that's literally all that was left. I was starting to get a little nervous. But no, had just enough. Because I had bought 10 gallons of distilled water and 10 gallons of antifreeze, and it was a scramble at the end. I got a little nervous, but we got it. It worked. So we'll find out if this stays holding 20 psi. Then we'll know we don't have a leak and that we can run the system. The air compressor runs. It's a little noisy, but yeah, she's holding pressure. I still got to do some work. I can do some piping, but I can start her real quick. She don't like the cold. Yeah, she's not terribly fond of the cold, but we're gonna fix that. I'm sure you heard that induction motor kick over. But yeah, so that's tonight's progress. I know it's shaking and it's going, but my hand is freezing. I don't have my gloves on right now. It's a little chilly in here, but I had to be paying attention. So with any luck, tomorrow we will start warming the slab. So, and then real quick, all the parts, that's obviously the boiler. When water starts circulating in, it'll click on a valve and it'll heat it to 120 degrees, bring it over here, where we will measure temperature and always be measuring pressure, because one thing we want to look for is a pressure differential from intake to out. Because stuff expands and contracts, you got to have an expansion bladder. This little guy takes the micro bubbles that happen with a boiler, and then I got to fab up a downspout for this, but that's if we exceed 30 psi, that'll blow and keep from blowing up the system. This is the circulating pump, and the circulating pump will always be running water, whenever there's a call for heat, we'll run water through the system, because the boiler doesn't like to have super cold water coming in. You've got to be careful with your temperature differential. So this magic T right here, called a purge T, basically is a loop coming in and out all the time when the primary's running. And then when there's a call for heat and then these pumps kick on, they'll siphon hot water from here, running around, out and back, and when it all comes back up and around, it'll blend in with the warmer water here to keep the boiler efficient. And this is all, as I understand it, this is the relays to interface with the thermostats to tell which pumps to go. This is the pump for zone 1, and zone 1 is the room to the east, which is the big room with the 2-post. And zone 2, of course, is the room with the cars and eventually pallet racking and storage and everything on this side. In the beginning, zone 1 and zone 2 are literally going to be all the same. It doesn't matter. But over time, they will get changed over to separate temperatures. But until this common wall is finished, there's really no reason to try, because the thermostats are literally on the same wall. You know, I got this one here, and we got that one over there. They're on the same wall. Once the wall's insulated and built, it'll be one thing, but for now, hey, if we can get this whole room to 40 degrees, that would be amazing. So, okay, that's tonight's update. I know it's been a couple days, but it's been too bloody cold. So yeah, that's literally all that was left. Oh, that was spooky. All right, good night.